I think the word I would use is it's critical. Art is critical. My name is Tamaira Sandifer. Most people call me Miss T. I spend a lot of time working with little kids, and Miss Tamaira was a mouthful, and so they started calling me Miss T, and it just kind of stuck.
For Tamaira Sandifer, Miss T, early experiences growing up in Richmond, California shaped not only her art, but her purpose. Becoming Miss T was a means of surviving a difficult childhood that strengthened and empowered her to create a thriving organization that's been changing lives for generations.
As a kid, I always danced. I was a very shy kid, but I had a love, a passion for it, and not only dancing myself, but also teaching it. I had a little brother and a lot of little sisters, and so one of the ways that we maintained a childlikeness growing up in some of the traumatic challenges that we experienced was we danced and we sang. And then the 80s happened, and everybody who's anybody wanted to break dance, they wanted to lock, they wanted to pop, they want, Soul Train, what's the dance that's coming down the line? Michael Jackson and Thriller and his music. MTV happened, people loved watching it, but they didn't know how to do it. For whatever reason, I had the grace and ability to pick up those moves and then teach people how to do it. And so I became the girl that if you wanted to know the steps, well, Tamaira can do it. It wasn't until I was in my 20s that someone said, hey, can we hire you to do choreography for us? I learned that there was a whole world where people got paid to do what they love. And so I spent the great majority of, in the developmental phase of Studio T, just listening to our kids and our families. And then I targeted communities where we were losing young people. And so, I started to try to do the traditional dance studio route, but I learned that everybody couldn't get to me. I closed my studio doors, and I just concentrated efforts in the streets. I'm going to you rather than wait for you to come to me. I would just try to solve the problem. And so a lot of the programs we have are just me attempting to be a problem solver when I recognize the pattern in the community of disruption, of pain, or deficit.
After years of successful classes here, workshops there, creating the national Get Up and Move events, and more, Miss T realized it was time to establish a home base. Studio T, now Studio T Arts and Entertainment Innovation Factory, is 44,000 square feet of real estate in Sacramento on Del Paso Boulevard. It's become a critical creative hub, extending the reach through movement, healing, self-expression, knowledge, and most important, access.
And so I knew I had to build something that became home for the kids that we serve. Most people would have me build what I'm building in Los Angeles or New York, and they did ask, and I said, no. There's such great fear in our young people around making mistakes when they don't understand that it's the mistakes you make that train and develop you to do things in excellence. I feel so honored that I got to be on their path with them. I think that everybody comes into this world with a piece to the world puzzle. And when you watch somebody that all the odds just seem so stacked against them, but then they show up in life and they do the thing that they were sent to do. That's always been one of the remarkable parts for me of this entire experience. And when I built the company, I did this while I was raising 3 kids, a single parent, 3 remarkable humans, and building a company, while you're raising kids, that's not an easy thing.
Miss T has become a living testament to the transformative power of art, believing when art is set in motion, it can reshape the world.
And so I discovered me in the process, but I also discovered how to help other people discover them. And then, then you start to see some of the outcomes in people's lives where statistics say that they should be dead, or they should be addicted, or they should be incarcerated, but they're not. My hope for the future is, I could say a couple things. One is that you know, I'll live to see generations being served through what's been built. I would say the other thing is that the world will know that I was here and I did my part.